In Mississippi, two tragic deaths just days apart have shaken communities, raised painful historical memories, and ignited urgent debates. On one college campus, a promising young black student was found hanging from a tree. Just hours later, in another Mississippi town, a homeless white man was discovered in the same way. Authorities say both cases show no immediate signs of foul play, but many in the public aren't convinced. Civil rights groups, grieving families, and students are demanding transparency, fearing that official statements may be premature. So, what happened in Mississippi? Why are these deaths sparking so much controversy? And what does this moment tell us about history, race, and justice in America today? Let's break it down.
Our story begins at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi.
On the morning of September 15th, the body of 21-year-old student Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree near the university's pickleball courts. Trey wasn't just a statistic. He was a young man with a family, friends, and a future. Originally from Grenada, Mississippi, he was known as bright, ambitious, and deeply connected to his community. His sudden and tragic death has left classmates and faculty reeling. The university quickly canceled all classes and postponed its centennial celebrations. Counseling services were made available to grieving students, and the usually quiet campus has now become a site of mourning, questions, and painful speculation. Local authorities released an initial statement. There were no external signs of trauma, no broken bones, and no evidence, at least at first glance, that pointed to foul play. An autopsy has been scheduled, but officials stressed that the process will take time. Not far away, in the city of Vicksburg, another tragedy unfolded almost simultaneously. The body of 35-year-old Cory Zukatis, a homeless man, was found hanging from a tree in a wooded area near the Ameristar Casino. Like Trey's case, officials quickly stated that there was no evidence of foul play at the scene. Cory's death, while tragic in itself, took on even greater significance because of its timing. To many, two deaths by hanging, discovered within the same day in the same state, is more than coincidence. It feels like a pattern. Authorities, however, were careful to stress that the two deaths are not connected. Still, that hasn't stopped questions, theories, and fears from spreading, particularly online. The reaction was immediate and emotional. On social media, posts began circulating with rumors that Trey Reed had suffered broken bones or signs of assault. These claims were rejected by the coroner, but in an age of viral information, denial doesn't erase suspicion. The NAACP chapter of Ouachita Parish released a strong statement, criticizing what they see as premature conclusions by law enforcement. Their concern is clear. Too often, while emotions run high, officials are attempting to ground the discussion in evidence. The coroner handling Trey Reed's case emphasized that early reports show no visible signs of foul play, no broken bones, no contusions, and nothing externally suggesting homicide. However, toxicology reports and deeper forensic analysis will take weeks. Similarly, in the case of Cory Zukatis, Vicksburg police reported no immediate evidence of violence or external trauma. From the perspective of law enforcement, transparency is tricky. If they label something a possible homicide without evidence, they risk sparking fear and panic. If they label it a possible suicide, they risk accusations of cover-up or negligence. So far, their official line has been cautious. Investigations are ongoing. Nothing is ruled out. To understand why these deaths are sparking so much fear you need context. Mississippi has a long and painful history of racial violence, including lynchings, many of which were disguised or dismissed in official records. For generations, Black communities have been told that loved ones took their own lives, when in fact, they were victims of racist terror. That history shapes the present. When a young Black man is found hanging from a tree in Mississippi, the public response is not shaped only by what happened today. It is shaped by centuries of distrust, fear, and unresolved trauma. Even if Trey Reed's death is ultimately determined to be suicide, that determination will exist against a backdrop of deep historical wounds. Wounds that make quick conclusions unacceptable to many. Another factor in this story is the role of social media. Within hours of Trey's body being discovered, posts on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok began claiming that he was lynched. Some posts alleged broken bones and evidence of assault. Others demanded that the FBI step in immediately. The problem? Many of these claims were not backed by official evidence. Social media can be a powerful tool for accountability, amplifying voices that might otherwise be silenced. But it can also spread fear, misinformation. So where do we go from here? For Trey Reed's family, the next step is clear. Wait for the autopsy, pursue independent investigation, and ensure transparency from officials. For Cory Zukatis, advocates are asking for dignity and recognition, that his death matters too, even if his life was lived on the margins of society. For the public, it means demanding truth, but also resisting the urge to jump to conclusions. For the authorities, it means one thing above all: earn trust. Trust that has been broken many times before. Trust that is essential if these cases are to bring closure instead of more division. 2 men, 2 lives, 2 tragedies. One was a college student with dreams of the future. The other, a man living without a home. Both found hanging from trees in Mississippi, a state where history makes such images almost unbearable to confront. We don't yet know whether these deaths were suicide, homicide, or something in between. But what we do know is this: communities are hurting, and history is speaking loudly in the silence left behind. In moments like this, justice requires more than investigations. It requires honesty, empathy, and a commitment to truth, no matter where it leads. Because the real question is not only what happened in Mississippi this week, but what will happen next. Will we demand transparency? Will we confront history? Will we listen to the families left behind? Or will these tragedies fade into another unsolved chapter of America's long story of pain and injustice? That choice is still ours to make.